Hey guys, Greasy Bear here, and today I'm going to show you how to use simple sci-fi. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to load the Pro version because I have the extra DPACKS loaded. And first off, it's going to load up with the shapes generator. I'm going to turn that off, and then there's the Geo Generator. I'm going to turn that off, and then there's the dot generator. Okay, so there's them. Let's do the fun stuff first. I'm going to do the Geo Generator. And when you click on the Geo Generator in the modifier, it shows you how this works. Is there's a bottom level collection and there's a top level collection. And these collections are basically your DPACKS. And the DPACKS in here there's a lot of DPACKS because I have the Pro version loaded. And there's a basic DPACK that comes with it, and then with the Pro version's got a lot better stuff going on. So what we're going to do here is the bottom level collection has a bottom level density and a bottom level size. Top level collection has a top level density and a top level size as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to slowly add some density to the bottom level, and you're going to add these pieces, and you're trying to cover as much black space as you can, and then you can adjust the size. You can make them real small and add a lot of density, or you can make a few and make them large, but something like that's kind of cool. And then you would go down to the top level density and you would add a couple more pieces, and then you would start to enlarge them for your scene, and that looks kind of cool. And then you have your seed up here, and then what I would do is I would click into the seed and then hold control, and it would just bring me through all these different scenes that look kind of cool. And you might find one that you really like, and like that's pretty cool. That's not too bad. It's got some space down here, so you might want to add a little bit more shape and density, which fills in that area. You can always go into your solid mode, hit Alt and turn it on its side, and kind of look at what the Geo is going to look like. And that's fantastic, man. That just looks, isn't that crazy? That just looks so good right there. So that's nuts. So moving on, I hit the 0, go back to this one here. So since I have the Pro pack loaded, I'm going to grab the bottom Piper, and wow, that's really big. So I'm going to lower that a lot, and there you go. And then let me see, I'll make this like 2, I guess. And yeah, it looks kind of cool. Got that little gap up there, so maybe a little more density to cover it, but okay, that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the basic RIA top DPACK in here, and I'm just going to probably add some density to this one because I like to make a lot more pieces in there, but obviously they're huge, so I'm going to bring the size down to something like about somewhere around here. That looks cool. And then I can click on this again, the solid mode, go down and look at my geometry or the Geo, yeah, and I like this. This looks like a chemical kind of piping plant, so I want to do this for the demonstration today. So this looks really cool. So back to 0, and then up here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as a second version. So that was Pro 1. I'm saving this as Pro 2. So I'm not messing up Pro 1. I'm keeping Pro 1 the same. So every time I use it, it's default. So now I'm going to turn off the generator of Geo, and I'm going to go to Shapes Generator, and I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to make a color map, which down here, if you turn the render material on, it'll show you the colors. The colors are all listed on this bar down here. And basically in the shape generator, it works the same way with your collection, with your density and your size of this is NP is non-proportioned, and P is the proportion collections. So stuff that can be non-proportioned will be this. Stuff that needs to be in proportion will be in this collection. And this does the same thing. You're going to add a little bit of density, and then you're going to play with your size, and then down here you're going to add a little density, and then you're going to play with your size. And over here, down at the bottom, you click on these, and you can go in here and change the colors if you don't want them so harsh. So I'm going to do like a metallic kind of piping scene, like a industrial scene. So I'm going to put these like light blue and like maybe, colors that are going to look good. Actually, we keep that around the white. That's the back, and change these up. Just I'm just going to give them some colors that like some gold that'll reflect off of some piping and some nice colors. The blue's nice. I'll just jack that up a little bit, and when we get the dark purple, maybe make that a little bit brighter as well. Just maybe not so crazy purple, but something like that. So that's cool. And what we're going to do is we're going to render this at 4K, and we're going to go ahead and render it. And I'm going to save this as a PNG 8-bit, and I already have a color map made here, so I'm going to save over that, but I'm just going to call it color map, and I'm going to save that image, and then I'm going to go ahead and just close this, and then I'm going to turn my shape generator off, and then I'm going to use the dot generator. Same thing applies. Go to your modifier. So you're basically going to add a little density, and then you're going to play with your shapes. I'm going to make these small. I don't want something crazy. Just going to make something real small, real easy. I'm going to render that out as 4K as well, and save that as a PNG. And this one's going to be PNG 8-bit. This one's going to be called dots. And the reason why you're doing 4K is because you don't need 8K to run on these. It's 4K is good enough. So after I did all that, I'm going to go back to the Geo Gen, and basically I'm just going to save the file once more, and then I'm going to make a new file, and I'm going to go File, Append, and I'm going to go append the file Pro 2 that I just saved, and I'm going to go into the collection, and I'm going to grab the Geo Gen, and then I'm going to fold up these two collections that made the layout, and then basically just zoom in on the layout here, and then I'm going to Geo Gen to the modifier, pull this out a little bit, and render matte pass. I'm going to hit 1, and then I'm going to go to object, and I'm going to say apply, make instances real, and it should do it in a heartbeat. But what it did is it made the whole thing separate objects. Now it left the original Geo Gen here, which is the whole the whole thing connected. You can go ahead and just delete that now, and then you have the whole layout as its own objects. How cool is that, man? How cool is that? Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to select one object, and down here we're going to go Gen Material, and then we're going to say select all, go to your material, and then say copy material to select it. And when I click off that, then you have the original, you have the material here flipping around, and that looks really cool, right? So we're not done yet. Here is the node setup for that. And what we have here is, in this node setup right here, we have a top side mix. So if I zoom in on the Geo and I turn this all the way down, if you see the Geo here is only going to be these colors, these base colors right here. So you don't want to move the sliders, but you can actually click on these colors and change them if you want it to. See that? You can make them like green or whatever you want to do. You can change the colors of them however you want. In this case, I'm not going to play with them. I'm just showing you that you can adjust them. And then also in this top slide mix here, if you drug it the other way to 100% the other way, this comes with the color map that comes with the Geo. So anytime you do a Geo, it's going to come with this color map. Unless you don't want to use this color map, this is where we're going to go into changing the color map, which is the side PNG here. I'm going to click into here. I'm going to get rid of this one, and I'm going to open this, and I'm going to go to where I saved it. I'm going to load the color map. Now that's going to be the color map. Tab back out of that. Now this is the color map that I created in the shapes generator that we just saw a couple minutes back. So after I do that, I'm going to come up here, and I also made a dot map. So I'm going to click into that, get rid of the standard one, and I'm going to load my dot map so I have my own lighting as well. Okay, tab back out. How cool is that? So now I have the dots here, the strength, the scale. So I can maybe scale them 2, add more dots to it, and I'll make it look really cool. I can go down here and cut some of this mix down, make it like half. And what I said for this demo is I was going to make like a piping situation. So down here we have a metallic setting. But before I get to that, metallic setting right here. Just hit that, turn that on, and now I have a metallic scene. Now, under here, the rest of this, you have a roughness settings, the brightness, contrast, your normal settings for strength and distance of your bump on the, see all the stuff here on the detail. This is the detail that's on your side map, which is your color map. At the same time, you have side PNG settings that you can scale and locate, bright contrast, all kinds of stuff like that. I'm going to leave that alone. I like it the way it is right now. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to back it up. I'm going to try and find a nice camera angle, and I'll drop a camera angle on there. So let me see. I'll do something like, this looks cool right here. So I'll add a camera, and then I'm going to hit Control-Alt-0. And the first thing I do with the camera is I drop the focal length to at least 40. If I can even go more than that, I'll do that, but I'll keep it at 40 for now. I'll go to View, Camera to View, and I'll just select a piece here, and I'll just use that as my center. And I'm basically going to set up a nice little scene. It's going to show you this piping and metallic and the detail really well. So, with that being said, I'm going to lock that down. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into render mode. I'm going to see what it looks like. And that looks pretty cool, except for the lighting's a little much. So I'm going to kick that scale back down to 1. And I may shoot the emissions down to 50. I don't need that crazy amount of light. And that looks kind of cool. And okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to drop in a point light. Just move this to the side and drag it over here. I'm going to put it down in the pipes a little bit. That's too much. There you go. I get my radius down to 0.125 maybe. Yeah, nice small one. I'm going to make this like a blue. Make it like 20. Bring it up here. Yeah, there we go. Slide it back a bit. And I'll make a Shift D on the Y. I'll bring one up forward up here. So you can see over here as well. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. Now I'll do a Shift D on the X. I'll take one far out here. And I'll put it up a little bit. And I'll make that like an orange. Well, no, I'll keep it really dark orange. I'll just cut it down to like 10, maybe even 5. And then I'll Shift D on the Y and drag one of those up here. And then just put it out here like that. And then we can also make that blue. And then Shift D on the X, drag another spot over this side. That up. Yeah, there. Now it's starting to look good. These might be too bright though. So I'm going to kick that down 1. I'm going to do this one, kick that down to about 2. That one's 5. We'll make that 3. These are 20. We'll make 10. Actually, maybe even 5. And then the back one that's 20, we'll make 5. And that looks pretty good, just like that. Now, next thing I would do is I would add a, let me go ahead and save this. I'm going to save as, I'll call it metallic test 5. And I think I have test files somewhere. Yeah, I'll save it in my test files. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a cube. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And I'm going to add a shader, volume shader, and drop that right in there and plug that in. Set that to 0.6, and then I'll take my density down to about 0.05. Okay, maybe 0.5. Maybe that's way too much. Maybe 0.1. Just want to put a little haze in there. That's it. That's all. And that looks pretty good. As you can see, a gap down here. That's not really an issue. You can just go into your mode here and probably grab this piece. Let me see. Yeah, and just Shift D on the X and just move it into that area. You can see all kinds of gaps in there, but it's, you turn this off and turn it on, you really don't see them. See, that gap's gone. So I like this with that a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump my resolution is 2540, 1440, and I like to do 500 when I'm using a little bit of the fog box and the volumetrics. So one other thing, let me try this. Let me go to my camera real quick and just see if we can back up off it another 5, and then maybe I can take this here to 1240 so it looks kind of cool, like wide. And maybe we want to go in one more just to get the detail. Yeah, that looks really cool. So I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to turn off the view. I'm going to save that, and then we're going to render it. So let's render it. Okay, now, wow, what a nice render. See, that looks pretty nice. So, not bad for a starter on, you know, first time on simple sci-fi. So, guys, I hope this video helped you out, and I hope it gets you started. It's very easy to use. Once you do it a few times, it's pretty simple. And, I mean, if you need help, just hit me up. I'll try and help you out the best I can. But guys, thanks for watching the video. Like I said, I hope this works. I'm very excited about this product. So is Chip. We just can't wait, man. Okay, guys, take care, and thanks for all your support. Bye.